So,
well, I'm glad to hear your. Well, I mean, I guess if you mentioned some baseball teams, is there any other things you'd like to share that you're kind of involved with, or if you want, you don't have to. I mean,
so we're hopefully going to kick it off. So the Baylor Center for Developmental Disabilities, we've done multiple
which
fundraising
we need to keep
car
playing
shows.
so I can
I know,
pay you $50 or give them some money.
We've done multiple. It's called Tag Team for Autism. 8. I got an 8. So,
all right, I do too. Roll again. But yeah, anyway, yeah, Baylor.
We've done multiple 10. I don't think I have it. No, I have a 10 too.
Ooh, that's good for you.
But I don't roll again, do I?
No.
Yeah. We've a lot of. We actually sponsor multiple race cars, like dirt track race cars. Multiple dancers, or we sponsor a couple of kids for the competitive cheer.
Jeez, so you are putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, we try to, a lot of different fundraising golf tournaments because we like to go out and golf too. So we sponsor, a lot of the big golf tournaments that happen.
I have seen that because I like to golf and I've seen your name.
Yeah.
On banners and stuff like that.
So. But you just never know. I mean, we get hit up, and I try to do as many. And there's some I just have to say no to because
sure,
just because I said, I have a hard time saying no, and so it can be a little excessive sometimes. Do I just move 7 up once?
Yep, just 7 if that's 7 there. Yep. Oh wait, no, 7 was $1. You owe $1.
Oh, $1. Okay.
Come on, what are you trying to cheat over here? No.
Where do I see that at? Is it the ones that are behind?
Yeah, $1. See how?
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
No, I'm just screwing with you.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad to hear that, Ben. And it sounds like it's coming back to you treating people in your community well. You know what I mean? So keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So this is a question I'd really like to know because
Big 12.
Well, you've told me a couple things.
Just one?
Yeah, just one. What is the coolest car you've ever had in the shop?
So my personal favorite, and he's actually become a really good friend, and he's been a huge supporter of us for a while.
Okay.
8?
9, I think.
8.
Oh, it is 8. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
So we had this really unique, and he's got a really neat collection. But he's got a numbers matching 57 Corvette.
Oh.
But it gets crazier. It's got a matching 1959 Redbird boat that tows behind it.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's a local guy here. He's originally from, not originally from, I met him out in Hamilton. But he's got a heck of a car collection. He's got Amphicar, the 65 Amphicar that you can drive. He's driven it around Lake Bellevue.
Is that the
little
really?
car? Yeah, but that 57 Vet with the matching boat's probably one of the coolest ones I've ever worked on. We've worked on just insane stuff, but that's probably one of the more unique and probably one of the more scary jobs because you mess up a 57 Vet.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, that's no joke. But we've been blessed. I mean, just unbelievable cars. I mean, just almost weekly we get something in
something real cool and
crazy. Yeah, like that 54 Studebaker race car that we just had in. I mean, I've never had anything like that in our shop before, and done a numbers matching 62 Vet. Just the classics. I always kind of go back to the classics because they're just amazing. But then, like a good friend of mine, we just did, and I didn't personally work on it. Casey, our rap guy, he just did a two-tone McLaren, a blue and black. McLaren.
I think I saw that on some social media posts for prom and stuff like that.
That was a really in-depth job. I mean, our showroom looked like a part store for a McLaren because it was ripped apart to do that job. I mean, it was pretty unreal. But yeah, so we're really lucky just to have everything. But if I had to ultimately pick one, it'd be that Vet and boat combo because it's just there's nothing like it. And I literally got to drive that boat. Have you ever heard of the Ribs and Rods show that happens?
I have heard of that. It's up by the airport, right?
It's one we still no. Well, it was, but now it's down by Don Ringler. In that big open lot there. Stephen Bramlett puts it on. He's an awesome guy. If you guys have the chance to go to it, it's this fall. But Kenny called me to go pick up this car. So he had at the time the car and the boat were out at his lake house out. What's the small town when you head out 36, the Cefco out there, and then out in that peninsula?
Moffett,
yeah. He had a house right out there on the lake, and he called me. He's like, my guys can't help me get this car, and he was wanting to get multiple of his cars ready for the show, so he wanted them all down to our shop to get them all detailed and ready for the show. And he's like, you're one of the only people I trust to drive this Vet. So one of my employees rode with me out there to follow me back. I'm sitting here driving this little 57 vet with this little boat in tow, and I've driven McLarens, Lamborghinis, Ferraris. I've driven them all, and I've never seen a reaction like I had in that car. I literally said, we get back to the shop. I mean, my guy said somebody almost ran into me because they were trying to record it while driving. I mean, because it was just
that rare.
It's just so rare, and just you never see anything like it. So I get back to the shop and I call Kenny and I'm like, "Will you hire me?" And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, I just want to drive this car and boat around, and just because everybody that saw it just smiled. It just brought such joy to people seeing this car and boat on the road. I was like, I just want to be a driver for you. I just want to drive around Temple all day just to bring joy to people because everybody's just freaking out over this car. So, yeah,
that's
pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, so that's the favorite car in the shop. Do you have a all-time personal favorite car?
So my personal dream car, if I could have
dream car, yes,
911 Turbo S, Porsche 911 Turbo S, man.
So what year? Because that's,
pretty much 2017 and up. Yeah,
what is it about those cars? I don't know much about.
So fast, they're really, really fast. But the thing I love about Porsche is that you can daily drive one. Ferraris, Lamborghinis, McLarens, they're all they're probably crazier. They demand attention. They're just wild looking. When you see an exotic, it's just what the heck is that thing, Porsches, I think, still get that, but not on the level that those cars do. But I would be terrified to drive a Ferrari every day. They sit so low. A Porsche is literally supercar speeds, but you can daily drive one. You can drive one cross country if you want. They're going to be reliable, too.
Okay.
And I'm not taking anything away from Ferraris and McLarens and all that, but, I'm a driver, man. I want to drive a car as much. I want to experience everything about it. And I would be terrified to drive because those, I drove a Huracan one time, a Lamborghini Huracan. That thing was so low in the front end that I would just be terrified to drive that thing anywhere because, you hit a bump, you could mess something up. And, these Porsches, you can just drive them anywhere. They're just, there's guys that drive them up in the snow. They're all-wheel drive. You can, it's a daily drivable exotic in a sense, or a supercar. So,
all right.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I've seen some cool Porsches on the road, but once again, I don't know much about Porsche.
Yeah.
Porsche. Now you don't have to say who, but have you ever done cars for any famous people?
Yeah. Yep. We've got some. It's all on our social media. So, done some cars for Ted Nugent.
Oh, okay.
We've done some. One of the coolest projects. So G-Technic, the ceramic coating company that we use, they. We're one of their top installers in the country, and so in 2019 at SEMA, G-Technic right there, got the top 25 award.
All right.
They invited me to come out to Vegas for SEMA in 2019, and I was part of a small group of guys that got to work on. There's a show called Street Outlaws on Discovery Channel. Got a pretty big following. So Farm Truck and Asian are two of the personalities
that
on
truck
there.
Is outstanding.
Yeah. So Asian has it's called the Chevy Nova 2, but it's a Chevy Nova that we got to do live at SEMA in 2019.
Oh, you did a coating on it?
Yeah, did a ceramic coating live on the showroom with a small team out there. That was pretty neat. Got to hang out with Farm Truck and Asian. Super nice guys, really humble dudes.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to think of anybody else. Those would be some of the bigger names that we've gotten to work on.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then, this last year, this was a pretty neat treat. There's a group called the Ring Brothers. They're actually up in Spring Green, Wisconsin.
Okay.
Just 45 minutes west of Madison, and I didn't get to work on any of their stuff, but these guys do Battle of the Builders for SEMA. These guys do $500,000 resto mods, just crazy stuff. Well, I got invited to go up to, they had a training event going on up there at their shop just out in the middle of nowhere, and got to hang out with those guys, go out to their farmhouse, and just super cool guys. And these guys literally won Battle of the Builders this last year at SEMA, crazy. And they're doing it out in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin, just nuts.
How fun is that?
Yeah, super cool guys. And one thing I found out, I always thought I'd be really intimidated by the super wealthy or super famous, but man, they're some of the coolest people I've ever met. Just really humble dudes. They were all just super gracious. Just to share.
They work hard for their money, probably too.
Yeah,
a lot of them.
Super neat guys.
Well, I mentioned this earlier, and we're going to do this now. We do. This is a bourbon podcast.
Okay.
And business and cigars. So today we are going to be drinking the Elijah Craig Small Batch.
Mm-hmm.
Very simple pour. It's good. But we're going to take this up a level. And Rex, you want some hooch?
Yes.
Okay. But we're gonna elevate this experience.
Okay.
As they like to say, Graham. Is it my roll or yours?
I think it's
yours.
Yep.
So we got the Glencairn glasses, as Dwayne, the owner here, loves these glasses. Rex, I'll pour you some.
You don't have an 8, do you?
I do have an 8.
You do? Well, what happens if we both win? Do we both pay the?
Yeah, we both pay. That's what happened last time.
I like that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
So
I'm rooting for 8.
So we got the Glencairn glasses, and we're gonna drink out of that. But I was recently, I think we're gonna need another Glencairn.
I can drink out of a regular.
You sure, Rex? All right, buddy. So I'm gonna pour you.
I don't need a Glencairn.
Yeah, you don't care about it. All right, so I'm gonna pour. Where the heck is it?
I've already done your little.
Yeah, you're not gonna do this.
Experiment.
We might have to bring Reggie and Kenny back for this one because they're bourbon snobs. But
Reggie has declined to be on camera.
okay, so we are gonna do a little bit of that.
Did you need another Glencairn?
I don't know yet. No, I guess not. But thank you, though, Dwayne.
I'll take a regular.
Okay,
I'm not being.
you're not gonna be snobby.
I'm not going to be extra.
I'm not snobby either.
No, well, here's the thing. So I'm gonna pour you a
the
little.
glass, yes, please.
I'm gonna pour you a little in there. Okay, I'll give some to Reximus here.
What are we drinking?
This is Elijah Craig.
Elijah Craig.
Just
No,
their small
that's not
batch.
the answer.
Okay.
When somebody asks what you've been drinking, say not enough.
Oh, not enough. I did not know that was the right answer. I apologize.
That's the correct answer.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So I found out about these Turkish tea glasses from another bourbon, much more educated than I am. So there you go,
Okay.
Graham. And then so I want you to. This isn't as high a proof, so you might not get the response, but with the Glencairn, give it the old nose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is pretty mild.
Smells like whiskey.
Smells like whiskey. It's good, but you get the notes. You get a little bit of the ethanol, and now try it out of this Turkish tea glass.
Yeah, it's different.
You don't get any of the alcohol. You just get the tasting
That's
notes.
Crazy.
Science is what they keep telling me. So anyway,
Voodoo.
I just wanted to a new little trick that I found out if you want to get into the tasting aspect of it. But yeah, we can
You
drink.
almost got
this.
a double fisty here.
No, I know. I'm actually gonna. Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, that's really crazy.
Isn't that funny? You don't notice any of that. So
It's voodoo. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it is.
but that is a pretty easy pour. I like this one. I mean, this one is about a $30 bottle.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's always a good one to have in your liquor cabinet.
Dude, I get crap. I like
What's your favorite bourbon?
I wouldn't say it's my favorite. So I like a good old fashioned too, because I get into making them at home. But Basil Hayden's has been one of the better old fashioned bourbons.
I've
that
heard
I
that's
like.
a good one for
It's-
Basil
it's-
or for Basil Hayden.
for old fashions. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think I brought it for one of your events. I was up at a store in Waco. It was actually around Christmas time, and I bought a bottle. There was the White Elephant Christmas, and
Yeah.
I went to the liquor store, just got like a little bottle of Basil Hayden's and a couple of glasses, gift bag, just something fun for a White Elephant. And they're like, "You like Basil Hayden's?" I'm like, "Man, I like it for old fashions and stuff. I don't drink it straight up a lot." And he's like, straight up pulls a bottle out from under the deal, and it was like almost I don't want to say it's a wine infused. I'm not a super like knowledgeable bourbon guy, but man, it was good. I still have it at my house too. I didn't bring it. I bought a different bottle here. I brought the Angel.
Angel's Envy?
Yeah, Angel's Envy is what I think I
That's
brought
a
here
tasty
for your
pour.
event. But I have that. I need to get you some of this special Basil Hayden's. that I've
Okay.
got. It's pretty good.
Tasty stuff, huh?
It's like out of a wine barrel or something like that.
Oh, I have maybe heard. I can't remember exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Is it a wine cask or sherry cask?
I think it's a wine cask. I think is what they.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well-
It's interesting though.
Well, the review on this. So let's see. Let's do the nose test here. That says vanilla, caramel, nut, and oak. So let's see.
Oh,
Ooh, we're gonna do the snobby glass because maybe I'll a Turkish tea glass here.
The extra glass.
Yeah.
The extra glass. I get a little bit
And
of the. I get a little bit of that caramel in there.
I smell whiskey.
Sweet and light. I would say that. Mm. Have you had much of this one before? What do you think of it?
It's interesting. It hits a little. I don't want to say it hits hard, but it's got a little bit of an impact. But then it actually like smooths out really nice.
Yeah, it's not like that. No, it isn't a higher proof 94, but it doesn't have significant burn.
See, like, so
On the way
Angels
down.
actually gives me a little bit of burn. Angels Envy, that actually gives me a little bit of burn. Compared.
does,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah. I actually don't. I don't mind this one at all.
Well, like I said, for $30, it's not a bad one to take a flyer on. You can get this one, anywhere. It's always readily available. It's not a.
Have you ever had Pappy?
I have not had
So
Pappy.
I only have done it once, man, and it was kind of iconic. So it was at SEMA. There's a new casino right on Fremont Street that was built just a couple years ago. It's called the Circa. So it's a 21 and up casino hotel. They built it. I mean, they finished it during COVID. I went out there 2 years ago, and one of my vendors that I buy a bunch of chemicals from, they have this amazing bar up on the top floor. I think it's like the 50th floor of this Circa. Like, you get up on top, perfect views of Vegas, dude. I mean, it's sick. But you walk in, so they kind of have a flex. Right when you walk in, there's this massive glass safe just stacked with like $2 or $3 million worth of gold bars just sitting in a safe, like a clear safe. I'm like, that's kind of a flex, but
yeah, it is.
So my this vendor that took me up there, we went up to just have a good glass of bourbon up there.
Yeah.
He's like, have you ever had bourbon or Pappy? And I'm like, no, man, I've always heard about it. I think this shot was like $300 or $400. I mean, it was
really.
He's like, it's on us tonight. And so
Wow.
we each had one. Good. I mean,
Did they say what year it was? Did he by chance give you?
I don't remember.
Although
honestly.
that expensive,
Yeah.
that was probably the older stuff.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, it was. I mean, they had to. Somebody had to bring it out. It wasn't just sitting. It wasn't just sitting on the shelf. They had to bring it out. But I would have given it probably like an 8 out of 10. Like,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was good, but like I've had better.
See, I wonder had he not told you, and you did a blind taste test, because that a lot of times that higher expensive stuff, when you compare it to readily available stuff, lots of times, unless you're really know the nuance, you'll be like, I'll just drink this, and you're like, oh, I guess I like everyday hooch. I don't need the.
It's cool to say I drank it, but I mean,
Yes.
I wouldn't pay that much for it. But it was kind of like, you remember Cristal back in the days, how that had the hype, with the rap days and all that.
Yes.
Dude, that's some of the worst stuff. I've had $10 bottles of freaking sparkling.
Is that vodka? What's Cristal?
Cristal is the champagne.
Champagne. Yes.
I've had $10 bottles of sparkling champagne or wine or whatever that tasted better than that crap. It was like $500 a bottle, and it was horrible. But it was just a status thing, It was just horrible.
Yes, you're right. Yeah. And that is with any of this stuff.
Yeah.
It's status thing. You're exactly right. 6. Ooh, I gotta finally pay some money.
Better.
Happy. One of these days I'll find it. I'm like you said. I'm not gonna spend a bunch of money if it falls in my.
It was on somebody else's dime. I'm good with it.
And you know what I'll probably do is not to pat myself on the back, I'll probably just share it because there's so many people. There's a quarter. But I would say one bourbon, one cigar business podcast review. Get yourself some Elijah Craig. It's a tasty pour.
Can't beat it for 30.
No, for $30.
Yeah.
I mean, get that in your liquor cabinet. I don't know how it would go with a. Well, most bourbons go pretty well with a old fashioned, but I know Basil Hayden, Bullet Rye is another one that I know you're a rye guy.
I cannot remember. So funny story. I was up in Cincinnati. So I told you I used to do a little bit of transport work and stuff.
Okay.
And I was up in Cincinnati at the airport, and I got there a little early, and I'm walking up. There's a whole freaking bourbon store in the Cincinnati airport, like. Just sitting there, like right next to my terminal. I'm like, oh, this is messed up, man.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got some time to go. I'm gonna go check out this bourbon store.
Okay.
And there was so I had bought a bottle down here. It was a pre-mixed old fashioned.
Okay. Yes.
Not good. It was not my favorite. It hit weird. I can't even remember what bourbon was in it. So I kind of had a bad taste in my mouth, literally, about like pre-mixed old fashions. So I go into this bourbon store in the Cincinnati airport. And sitting here talking to this guy, and he's like, man, Buffalo Trace just came out with this pre-mixed old-fashioned that's really freaking good.
Okay.
And I think it was like... Yeah. It was like... I think it was like $40 for the bottle. And I was like, I've spent $40 on dumber things in my life. Like, cool, I'll try it. I mean, this guy's like really hyping it up. I'm going to try it. And, dude, I get it. And good. I mean, like I'd give it probably like an 8.5 out of
For
10.
a pre-mixed, okay.
Really, like actually good. I mean, just literally like throw some ice cubes in, or a ice squirt, or what do they call it, a cube?
Yeah, you're right.
The bigger cube. Throw a couple of cherries, maybe a little bitters in it just to juice it up a little bit, but actually really good. But it's the Buffalo Trace that I think Buffalo Trace is kind of slept on a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Well, so you were talking about, and I want to ask you a little bit. So you're an old-fashioned guy. Do you do the whole thing, like squash the sugar cubes in there and do all that? You
I got
do
it
like
all at the house, yeah.
You do all that,
Yeah.
the couple shots, I think it's 2 shots of bitters, right?
Yeah. So
you
I
do the
come,
orange peel, like the essence and all that kind of?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. So
wow.
I come from so.
Oh, yeah, you said bartender.
So back when I graduated high school, I went to school in Mason City, Iowa.
Okay.
Mason
you know
City.
how I know Mason
Yeah.
City? All the windmills.
Yeah.
I know when I'm almost to Minnesota. I'm like 30
Yeah.
miles to Minnesota.
So that's where I went to college, and I was actually
Okay.
and I graduated in '98 from high school, and I got a job with Applebee's and became a trainer for them.
Okay.
So bar trainer. So that's when they were exploding and all that. So yeah.
So yeah, you do it there. You do it the right way. You do it the
Yeah.
old-fashioned way.
Margaritas were my jam, though. I had a really good margarita that I made back in the days. So that was the Cuervo 1800, but we made a pretty mean margarita back in those days.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of.
Man, we might have to do tequila night here again. Sorry. Well, we'll do margaritas. So you're always a big hit then on Cinco de Mayo, then
I
probably.
used to be, man. I'm kind of old and boring now. I don't get out and. Cars and drinking don't go too well together, so I don't drink
that's
too.
true, especially
Well,
old cars.
The last event that I came that you guys put on down here, I Ubered down here. My wife's like, "You're literally taking an Uber?" I was like, "I don't know what I'm walking into. I haven't been to one of these yet." So I Ubered down here and back.
That's funny.
When I drink margaritas, we always had them hold everything but the tequila. That's all I needed was tequila.
Oh yeah,
That's
exactly.
that crap they keep.
I don't know, a good handmade margarita.
Yeah.
Not with the mix, like you said,
dude,
making
so-
your own simple syrup.
So
and
we used 1800 simple syrup, but we used Cointreau and Grand Marnier in it as well, which was really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to make one sometime.
Ooh, yeah, now my
you throw a
mouth's
little
watering.
Cointreau and some Grand Marnier in there, and it adds a pretty cool mix to it. It's pretty good.
All right, we'll get back to business.
Yeah.
We talked about some good hooch there. That was fun. That was a lot of fun.